It is very nice to greet you again. In today's video we will talk about the following. Why does my ex always ignore me? 5 reasons. Believe it or not, there are actually many different ways to find out why your ex may be ignoring you. I'm sad to say that I see a lot of this, exes ignoring their exes. In this video, I'm going to help you understand why your ex is ignoring your numerous attempts to reach out. However, I don't want to stop there. I want to give you some steps you can implement to improve your chances of getting him to talk to you. The number one mistake you make after a breakup is becoming needy or desperate. I really want you to understand this section, so I'm going to define common desperate actions that exes do. Texting too much. Basically, this is a person texting multiple times, even if they don't get a response. For anyone, attention is flattering. I'm not going to lie, nothing feels better. However, when you get too much attention, in the form of text messages, it becomes uncomfortable. The question you're probably asking yourself is, why? It's actually pretty simple. A person who has to text someone so much is displaying 2 qualities that turn off every human being on this planet. For one, they can be too emotional, and emotions are scary. The second really unattractive quality is the fact that there's no pursuit. Calling too much. This is almost exactly the same, except it's calling instead of texting. So, the other big mistake exes make that can make your ex want to ignore you is spamming their phone with calls. A person has to be in a good mood to talk on the phone. If I'm not in the mood to go out and see people someday, then I won't. Same goes for phone calls. Sometimes I just don't want to talk on the phone. If I'm in that mood, trust me, you won't get me to talk on the phone. But now comes a crazy girl, no offense, who just calls you 10 times a day. Not only will she freak me out on a level I've never known before, but I'm really not going to pick up the phone now. If you notice, calling adds an element that texting doesn't, the human voice. Writing a long letter or email declaring your love. To me, letters and emails are the same thing. The only difference is that it takes longer to respond to one. I wanted to include the love letter email because I see a lot of this, and I'm telling you, it rarely works. Again, the only thing all of these texts, calls, letters, emails have in common is the fact that they are all actions taken out of desperation. Most common reasons why your ex is ignoring you. 1. He's doing it on purpose to punish you. Some men and women have a really twisted mindset. If they don't get their way in a relationship, or even after one, they will find ways to emotionally manipulate you. One way to let your ex know that they can upset you is to simply ignore you for a couple of days. Now, I want to point out that this is essentially the same thing I recommend doing with the no contact rule. However, there is one major difference. When you start the no contact rule, you don't really want to ignore your ex, you want to give them time to cool down and also get better in the process. 2. They're using the no contact rule on you. This is really rare. In fact, it's so rare that I've never encountered it before. Basically, how this works is that your ex is using the no contact rule on you on purpose. It's one of those rare cases where you want them back and they want you back. I think that in 95% of cases your ex is not going to use the no contact rule. All I can tell you is that it's very unlikely, but still likely, that your ex is ignoring you for this reason. 3. He really doesn't want to talk to you anymore. Actually, your ex might not want anything to do with you anymore, and that's why he's ignoring you. It's unfortunate, but it could be the truth. People who end up in situations like this have usually hurt their ex in horrible ways. Anyway, the real warning sign for you to figure out is to look back at your relationship and figure out the ways you hurt him. Realistically, the only way I would not talk to my ex is if he hurt me in a horrible way. Of course, I already said that. If my ex did any of the following things to me, I would seriously consider cutting this person out of my life. Cheating on me. Lying to me multiple times. I understand that everyone lies, but if it happens frequently, like every day, it's not going to work anymore. Manipulating me. You are an essential part of what we do on this channel. For this reason, we keep an eye on what you need, and if it is your desire to recover your ex correctly and effectively, you must click on the link below.